it's a complicated history. The present is quite complicated itself in terms of people trying to understand what its true uses are. As of now, not too many of those have been discovered as yet. So from an industry perspective, we feel that the future is extremely strong for cryptocurrencies, especially since new use cases and scenarios are being found out almost every single week and month, and the evolution is really strong in this. Volumes are definitely drying up in India right now, and that's primarily because banks have not sought a proactive approach in terms of supporting the industry. Banks have been a bit concerned, even though the government has not provided any clarity in terms of the regulation, whether it's legal or illegal. Banks have stepped forward and they're making a bit of a move on this. Having lost a few of the banking partnerships across all Bitcoin exchanges and companies in India, volumes have taken a bit of a dip, but this is not a long-term problem. It's not very measurable. If you look at the public sources itself, we could look at about a few hundred Bitcoins being traded on a daily basis, or maybe a few, about 20-30 crores worth on a daily basis at a minimum. Some of the big problems as a company that we face is the lack of understanding in the general mass, in the general public, in the regulatory sense of views. And even though it is quite clear to us that this is a non-regulatable product and the way it is being used should actually be the thing that is regulated, that does not seem to be the understanding of the outcome as yet. So it's very complex, right? So one of the big problems with cryptocurrencies itself is that the government does not own it. No government owns it. So for them to take a stance on whether it is legal or illegal, it's not going to make any sense whatsoever, because this is a cloud-based service. It's free. It's like air. For the government to come and say you cannot use air or you can use air, it's not possible, because it's a completely free environment. If we look at technologies like the internet, email, they have absolutely no regulation of any sort whatsoever, because they cannot be controlled by a central authority. And Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are exactly the same. I think the news has just started off as of yesterday, so I'm not too sure whether it's a rumor or whether it's something factual. But if it is something factual also, it's not going to shake the environment up a lot. A lot of businesses have established and are well known already. So the discovery process of these companies is going to become a bit difficult, but the innovation and technology is still going to be available. It's still going to be searchable. We're still going to understand how blockchains work. We're still going to be able to understand what are the latest innovations coming out of it. Nothing of that sort is going to change. I'm not sure if any company that's shut down. I know that one shut down in India, Itex India, but he was never a large-scale vendor right from the start. This is the second time, in fact, that he has shut down because of bank-related movements. So these are signs, and we have to understand it as a business, that it's going to get better, it's going to get worse. We at coinsecure itself are going to be introducing a few more cryptocurrencies to ensure that banking is not the only challenge that we face. You know, we are going to allow customers to come in through other cryptocurrencies as well and take that. Sure. So it's grown tremendously since inception. We as a company have never really aggressively looked at revenues and profits, because sustainability has been quite easy. Now, from a company perspective, we're not too worried, because this is a global technology, and the stack that we have built is definitely possible to service a larger audience as well. So while any kind of a ban or any kind of a stop is going to be regimental, and it's going to be a short-term problem for India, the world is still open as a market for us to go ahead and launch our platform and continue. So that's a kind of a tough one, you know, because Bitcoin and blockchain are both, the token as well as the blockchain that holds the data, they're both equally important. If you run a blockchain without a token, there is high possibility of manipulating the data and changing it, because there is, it's always going to be a private control. I know who all control this chain, so it's easier for me to manipulate that. But if you look at the token, the end token like Bitcoin, what it does is it provides a layer of security which cannot change the embedded contract on the blockchain. It does not allow that change at all, so that makes it highly secure and transparent. So eventually we're going to move to a point where companies are going to ask if a company is working on a public blockchain or a private blockchain. And private blockchains are always going to be treated with a lot less respect than the public chains.